The South African athlete Caster Semenya has lost a landmark case against new rules restricting the amount of testosterone in female runners. Semenya, a double Olympic gold medalist, has a condition that means she has unusually high levels of the hormone. Well, the governing body of World Athletics has brought in rules forcing athletes like her to take medication in order to lower their testosterone. Caster Semenya claimed that was unfair, but now the Court of Arbitration for Sport has ruled against her. Here's our sports news correspondent, Richard Conway.
And here comes Caster Semenya, past them all.
Caster Semenya has controlled 800-metre running over the past decade like no one else. But that dominance is now in doubt following this landmark verdict. Athletics' world governing body, the IAAF, believes women with what is known as differences in sexual development, or DSD as it's also known, hold an unfair advantage over their competitors. Caster Semenya argued she simply has a genetic gift, was born and raised a woman, and shouldn't be discriminated against. However, the court disagreed.
The panel found that the DSD regulations are discriminatory, but the majority of the panel found that on the basis of the evidence submitted by the parties in the procedure, such discrimination is a necessary, reasonable and proportionate means of achieving the IAAF's objective of preserving the integrity of female athletics.
The hormones, genes and reproductive organs of women with DSD may often be a mix of male and female characteristics. The science and the impact of testosterone on performance was a key factor in the case.
She has a condition which may lead to her to have slightly higher testosterone levels than the average female. Now, lots of women have conditions like this, and there are various conditions that might lead to someone having high testosterone levels. The crux of this argument is whether those high testosterone levels that occur naturally in women confer the same advantage that they would if it was man versus woman, where we see about a 10 to 12% difference.
Athletics chiefs fear that if left unchecked, DSD athletes could dominate the sport, pointing to over 100 records that have already been set at national, continental and world level.
The core value for the IAAF is the empowerment of girls and women through athletics. The regulations that we are introducing are there to protect the sanctity of fair and open competition.
Meanwhile, the woman at the centre of this case was left initially bemused before issuing a defiant statement saying, "For a decade, the IAAF has tried to slow me down, but this has actually made me stronger. The decision of the CAS will not hold me back. I will once again rise above and continue to inspire young women and athletes in South Africa and around the world." Caster Semenya now faces a crucial decision. If she is to defend her world title, she must start taking the necessary medication next week. However, she may yet opt to run a longer distance not subject to the new regulations. The IAAF, meanwhile, has welcomed the decision, but given a split verdict and the highly contentious nature of the decision, the issue looks like it will run on for some time. Richard Conway, BBC News.
Well, our sports reporter Adi Adedoyin is in South Africa. Adi, what is the reaction there to this ruling?
A lot of disappointment, because a lot of people here felt that Caster Semenya would win on the basis of human rights. They feel that it's discriminatory. They feel that this goes against her human rights. And I've got a statement from the Ministry of Sport in South Africa who say that they're naturally very disappointed by this ruling. They say it's not only a blow to human rights, but a blow to all South Africans. And they say they're going to lobby other bodies to stand behind them. And the man who sent me the statement from the Ministry of Sport says they're considering an appeal against this decision. Support as well from other sports stars. Martina Navratilova, a high-profile tennis player, former Wimbledon champion, of course, has put out a strong statement as well in support of Caster Semenya, which I also have in front of me. It says the verdict against Semenya is dreadfully unfair and says it's wrong in principle, that she's done nothing wrong, and it's awful that she will now have to take drugs to be able to compete. Now, as far as options are concerned for Caster Semenya in terms of where she goes from here, she can appeal to the Swiss court on procedural issues, but success rate in that is very, very low. The other option is to take this case further and go to the Court of Human Rights, but that takes an awful long time. There was a German skater, Claudia Pechstein, who did the same. It took a decade to resolve. So as Richard Conway said in her piece, in his piece a few moments ago, she's got a very big decision to make as far as her career is concerned.
Indeed. All right, Adi, thank you very much indeed. Adi Adedoyin there for us in Johannesburg. The WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange has been sentenced to 50 weeks in